everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Tuesday. It is August 19th, 2025. And we get some breaking developments on the Israeli-born. Right. Well, I don't know if he's Israeli-born. He is the cybersecurity leader for, Bibi Netanyahu. But he, my friends, was let go by an American judge in Nevada. I've got some facts here that are quite interesting. Guess what the judge was? She is Israeli. She is Jewish, and she was the acting U.S. attorney, right? She let the Israeli guy go. She let him escape. She just deactivated her X account also. Her name is Sigal Chattah. Sigal Chattah. Guess what else she didn't do? Knowing he's an Israeli, knowing he's on visit, knowing he's a big shot cybersecurity leader, guess what? She did not confiscate his passport so he couldn't leave the country. That's right. She let him out of jail, let him keep his passport. He even told the police when he was scheduled to fly out and gave him the flight number, all the information. Apparently, they recorded the entire police confession from this guy. He wasn't there to rape little girls, folks. He was there to rape little boys. That's what he was in America for, was to rape little boys. And a Jewish Israeli judge on our courts, acting as U.S. attorney, right, for Nevada, let him go. Just unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And yes, oh yeah. X has scrubbed the shit out of all of the anti-Israel, anti-Palestine, right? All the Middle East war stuff has been scrubbed off of my social media. But it's already trickling back in. Now, the Attorney General in Nevada says Pam Bondi is absolutely outraged that Israel's cyber chief, Bibi Netanyahu's cyber boy, left the country without surrendering his passport. He was trying to lure, I believe, a minor, a boy online. Pam Bondi only gets mad and pretends she wants justice when the culprit is in another country or safe. In my opinion, she has a list a mile long of elite pedophiles from Washington, D.C., New York banks, bureaucrats everywhere. Oh, not to mention the Brits and the Israelis that travel around, right? I think that Pam Bondi is a liar and a charlatan. Prove me wrong. Change my mind. They haven't said anything about Epstein Island, Epstein's clients, Jizzy Maxwell. Haven't said anything about the elite pedophile rings out there. But now she's going to be outraged that one of the people she's been protecting, I'm sure of it, escaped and went back to Israel. Has anyone figured it out yet, what Israel is? Have you guys figured it out? Have you figured out who they are yet? Have you figured out what they believe? Have you figured out what they're trying to do to America, to Europe, and the rest of the world? Have you figured it out, what they're trying to do? Period. What their game plan is. Have you figured it out? Pam Bondi is outraged. My ass. Get your comments down below, folks. Get them down below. We've got some fun. Gonna have us some fun. It's coming. Now, Pam Bondi is outraged. Don't worry. She's not going to do anything. But the Department of Justice is going to deliver Epstein files to the House Oversight Committee, right? And the House is going to make some documents public. Of course, there are going to be some redactions. But wait, I thought Epstein and Jizzy and the Epstein clients and the pedophiles, I thought it was all a hoax. I thought we were all stupid to believe this. I thought there was nothing to do with this and that it's all bullshit. That there's no substance to the claims. There's no reality called Epstein files. But the Department of Justice is delivering these files over to the Oversight Committee? Are these the files that were on Pam Bondi's desk or the files that weren't on Pam Bondi's desk? Are these files the part that were in the truckload that Pam Bondi got or the truckload that didn't exist? Are these files part of the Epstein list that Trump says is bullshit and a lie and a hoax and that we're stupid for believing about? Or are these the Epstein files that he wanted released and his son wanted released and Elon Musk wanted released and J.D. Vance wanted released and everyone else wanted released? Which files are these? They're lying to us. Again, always, always, always lying to us. Right to our faces. Now, never mind the fact that they lie to us. What I think is critical here is to note they will do whatever they want to us, anytime they want, to get what they want. Control, wealth, power, ownership, and to destroy their enemies. That's who these people are, folks, in Washington, D.C. And we know who's paid for them, don't we? Yes, we do. We know who's paid for them and bought them. They're all bought. They're all paid for. They don't work for us. We pay them, but they don't work for us. We pay congressmen, what, $150,000 a year? We pay U.S. senators $200,000 a year. Israel, through the America-Israeli Political Action Committee, pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars a year. And that's just what they declare. Who knows how much they get in offshore bank accounts, super secret trusts, where everything's kept down below. They don't own it in their name. They just happen to own and control, say, a trust or a shell corporation. If they're willing to lie to our faces, folks, literally look into the camera and say, there's no Epstein list, while they're holding the Epstein list. Imagine what they'll do to us when they get caught and it's time to put their head in a noose. It's not going to be pretty, folks. Not going to be pretty at all. Where do we go now? Where do we go now? All of these people, folks, anyone who's got power and authority over you and me, over kids, over children, what do we keep catching them doing? Taking advantage of their authority and using it to gratify themselves. For a second time, folks, from the same school, another teacher in Wisconsin has been arrested for what? For sexual misconduct with students. I didn't say student, did I? I said students. Another white liberal Democrat teacher screwing her students. Democrats, folks, and Democrat mentality. One and all. And once again, I'm going to bring this up. This is very important. I'm tired of playing fucking games, folks. These people are evil. They will kill you and me if they get a chance. They've already brought in how many millions of military age gang members, communists, Muslims that hate us. How many millions have they brought in? These teachers that want to take advantage of children and rape them. Oh, I've got one more for you too. I've got one more. Before I nail this one down, I got one more for you. Loudoun County, it's in Virginia. Loudoun County Public School is having another case of lunacy. Boys have been suspended. What did they do? Did they sneak into the girls' locker room? No. They didn't pull a Porky's, folks. Did they write graffiti on the walls? No. What did these boys do to get suspended? Did they hurt someone's feelings? No. They objected to having a woman pretending to be a man in the men's locker room at Loudoun County Public School. So they got suspended because they objected to someone with a twat being in a locker room that's supposed to have dicks. Now remember, folks, Loudoun County is where boys lurk in girls' bathrooms and pretend that they're girls, claim that they're girls, and then they rape the actual girls who go in there. And Loudoun County has covered it up several times. Not once, folks, but several cases of sexual assault, aka rape, not to mention everything else they do in Loudoun County. Right? And Loudoun County is where the trans woke tardation in the school system started. That's where the woke started and came out of and expanded like a nuclear explosion. I would prefer that this end. I would prefer to end this, folks, fast with guns everywhere. And it would solve all of our problems. Tear the Band-Aid off and we can heal. There's two religions in the world, folks. Two religions in the world that say it's okay to have sex with children. It's okay to rape people. It's okay to believe you're superior to people. It's okay to steal, harm, mutilate, and murder people. It's fine. As long as you're in the right religion. There's two religions. Islam, the Muslims, and Talmudic Jews. Facts. The facts that no one wants us to hear. The facts that no one wants to be talked about. I'm not saying go out and do anything bad to Muslims or to Jews or Israelis. I'm not saying go do anything bad to transgenders. Just understand it's part of the plan. It's part of how to destroy our country. The freest country on the planet that ever existed is no longer free. The truth, justice, the American way is no longer truth. It's lies. It's no longer justice. It's preferential treatment. There's no law and order here. There's laws for you and laws for me. Right? The elite have different laws. Folks, transgenderism is part of the Talmudic belief system that the Israelis love. Not all of them, folks. Not all Israelis follow the Talmudic belief system. Just a lot of them. And they're all the Zionists. Once again, another dirty word we're not allowed to say. It's kind of like ghetto blacks. They can say the N-word, but no one else can. Zionist Jews can say whatever they want to anyone they want about anything they want, even claiming to be Zionists. They can talk about their belief systems, how they can rape children and kill the Goyim. But you can't say it, and I can't say it. They say, I'm sick of this shit. I think we need to fix the problem, folks. I just don't know how it's going to happen. This transgender shit. Remember this person, the transgender, mentally disordered Democrat, Representative Tim McBride. Tim, call me by my retard name, Sarah McBride. She says, he says, it says, this transgender Congress freak says Trump is, quote, taking notes from his favorite dictator. And he's conducting an all-out assault on democracy. You see how sick these fucking people are? Not only do you have a mentally disordered transgender fruitcake who got elected to Congress attacking Trump, Trump is defending and hiding all of the pedophiles. We have layer after layer after layer after layer. And I hate to say it, but all Trump would have to do is say, go arrest the pedophiles on Jeffrey Epstein's list. Throw caution to the wind. Right? Smack the table, knock everything off the board. Let's just get it on. You know, truth be damned, let's get it out there and see what happens. Nope, not going to do it. No, we can't take a chance on that. Meanwhile, you've got illegals just lying their ass off to get in the country. I don't know what to do anymore, folks. It is that fucking stupid and crazy. It really is. It really is that fucking crazy. Right? Once again, folks, Israel's top cybersecurity chief was released following his arrest in Las Vegas for attempting to have sex with little boys, children. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, Israeli citizen, cybersecurity chief to Bibi Netanyahu, arrested in Las Vegas, released, allowed to keep his passport, he told the cops what flight was his out of the country, and he just went to the airport, got on his fucking plane, and left. And the U.S. government claims that they didn't have anything to do with letting him go. Do you believe that? Pam Bondi says she's mad. Or the Nevada Attorney General says Pam Bondi's mad. You believe that? Claiming, like Pam Bondi's going to demand that Israel return him. Israel is a non-extradition country. How is our greatest ally non-extradition? How is our greatest ally, supposedly, Israel? How can they be our greatest ally if they're going to harbor fugitives from us? Fugitives who wanted to rape children. Folks, shit has hit the fan. And I'm glad all of this is coming out so that everyone knows who the bad guys are. There's no questions. There's no doubts. Right? Was it Iran? Was it Iraq? Was it Afghanistan? Was it Syria or Libya? Well, we're supposed to believe it's all those crazy rascally Muslims. Was it China and North Korea and Russia? Those bad countries? Or was it our own allies, the Five Eyes? New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and England, along with the United States government. All those governments, are they the bad guys? With all of their power, all of their surveillance, all of the incredible technology they have, they can't find everyone on the Epstein list, right? It all needs to be exposed, folks, and shit is really going to hit the fan. Literally. They have all of this surveillance, the internet, phones, text messages, social media. They can't figure out who the bad guys are. Well, Senator Grassley, that's right, some old fossil in the Republican Party, he gets to be the tough guy. And he says that the Biden-Harris, that's right, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, their administration, had a child trafficking program that dumped 11,000 children with unvetted, that means unchecked, no background checks. 11,000 children went to unvetted strangers. And there were no home checks for 79,000 children under the age of 12. And this is according to government numbers and statistics. I wonder how many of these children made it into the sex stables of Epstein's clients, and these same clients who have yet to face justice. Can you imagine? Please understand, folks, if Trump did what we want him to do, name the names, make the arrests, Wall Street would collapse. Half of Washington would have to be arrested, literally. Other nations around the world would be embarrassed beyond repair at their people that are involved as well. Everyone that showed up at Trump's office for that meeting with Zelensky, I bet 80-90% of them are on the list. I'm sick of these people. They're sick as fuck. I hope you're all prepared, folks, because if it does happen, everything is going to come out. Once the shit comes out of the horse, you can't get it back in. You want more? Oh yeah, I said, hey, you got all these people protecting Epstein's clients, and then you got people. Just listen to this. A New York woman was in Washington, D.C., right? She has been attending anti-Trump, far left Democrat communist rallies. This woman has been arrested because you know what she wanted to do? She wanted to murder Trump. She threatened Trump. Said she was going to disembowel him too. Guess who she was hanging out with? Guess who she's pictured with? Remember that crazy bitch with purple hair, the Democrat in Congress? She looks like a screwy witch with a big hook nose, purple hair, ridiculous clothes and glasses. Yeah, she's hanging out with her. She looks like a fucking Skeksis from the Dark Crystal, right? Remember, folks, remember that BlackRock, the world's largest investment firm, Larry Fink is the new World Economic Forum leader. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock, and now he is the new World Economic Forum leader. The World Economic Forum, whose main theme is globalist economics and eugenics, killing 90% of the planet. This guy, Larry Fink, he had both Trump assassins, the one at the golf course and the one up in Pennsylvania. Both of them were in his television commercials for BlackRock. And they were both associated and tied to the FBI. And now we have another crazy bitch who wants to disembowel and kill Trump. Right? This is all orchestrated, folks. And who knows what dominoes will be toppled? Who knows? Who knows what is going to happen? The world is pissed off. The world is at each other's throats. The United States of America, we're still doing okay economically. It's bad out there, depending on where you look. Inflation is strangling people. It's draining their bank accounts, their wallets, and maxing out their credit cards. But we're not there yet. But Serbia, folks, Serbia's president had a warning, folks. He said, quote, days away from open street killings, end quote. These months-old protests over corruption, vote fraud, and other typical problems with governments, stealing money, not accountable, et cetera, et cetera. They are days away from open killing in the streets in Serbia. They have the same issue we do, folks. You got two sides, two wings of the same dirty bird fighting each other. And I'm sure right now they're burning cars. People are being attacked. They're attacking government buildings, trashing everything, violence. It's burning, looting, and murdering, folks. And I'll bet whatever side is the one that's violent is likely being paid to be violent. Just like George Soros and USAID money went to non-government organizations who then funded the George Floyd protests of 2020. The BLM money, they were paid. So we've got two sides of people in Serbia fighting, and the police are involved as well. Basically, you've got three armies of people beating the shit out of each other in Serbia. How long? What needs to happen before that comes to this country? Right? That's a good question, I think. We have the idiocy here already, folks. We have the idiocy here already. Idiotic Democrat Representative LaMonica MacIver, not MacGyver. This is LaMonica MacIver. She says that the secret code is white power when Trump says Liberation Day. Well, didn't Gavin Newsom use the same words and say that he's giving California its Liberation Day? Was that white power? I'm going to let them have it here, folks. The ghetto black Democrats use the same old trashing style You're a Nazi. You're Hitler. You're a white supremacist. It's old. It's tiresome. It lost its bite. Doesn't matter. And by the way, shouldn't LaMonica be on trial for assaulting a federal agent? Yeah, folks, she should. And now you see the power that corruption holds over Republicans who are compromised. Democrats will do and say what they want, and they will not be held accountable. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, your means of self-defense. Are you prepared? It's going to happen, folks. It's going to happen. It's happening in Serbia. People are getting sick and tired of this shit. It's happening here. I know that we do have good people in government trying to do some good things. And I don't want to do my monologue without touching on one that I think is important. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has revoked 6,000 student visas because those student visa holders committed crimes and they support terrorism. I agree 100%. But while he is at it, he needs to revoke the H-1B work visas held by Indians. He needs to revoke the asylum status from everyone from around the world. Just revoke it and let's send them home. Screw them all. Because they're only here to screw us and rob us and rape us. And everything that's being done to Europe and America is applauded, supported, funded, and pushed by two religions that hate freedom and liberty, and they hate the West because it is Christian. This is now a holy war as far as I'm concerned. This is a crusade. I'm not going to break out a Bible or a cross or a sword, but there needs to be a crusade mentality to push back on all of this evil government. Folks, understand this. King John in England, this is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years before the American Revolution, got out of hand. And he was captured by knights and held at sword point and forced to sign the Magna Carta, which was one of the first or the first known document to be signed by someone in power like a king that recognized and respected the rights of men. And yeah, a little duress there. And the Knights Templar were on site. Now, I know a lot of people will dispute that. Some historians don't like that. Well, anyone could have a cross. Anyone could be wearing a white mantle with a red cross on it. Templars, right? The fight against non-Christian belief systems, and we're seeing exactly what the consequences are. It's not really a religious issue, folks. It's a moral issue, in my opinion, a moral issue. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Look what's happening. Look where our tolerance has gotten us by being patient. When using the system we have. Folks, we haven't had free elections for over 100 years. Free and fair elections, I should say. I know the Kennedy election in 1960 was completely fucking screwed over. Not that Tricky Dick would have been a better selection, but here we are, folks. Here we are. This is the world we live in. And I'll end the show with one last nasty bit of stupidness that's coming from out there. But for now, it is your turn, folks. It is your turn. Being a prepper, being America first, being a patriot, that's important, folks. It matters. The bad guys are all around us now. A lot of them even look like us, sound like us, talk like us, but they're traitors. Are you prepared for the potentials that are out there? Let's find out what you want to talk about. And we're back. Here we are in the bunker, the fabled prepared mind bunker. It's roomy. All the room you could ever hope for. We got a great crowd today, Tuesday night. It is now time for the inner circle. That's your guys' questions, comments, and thoughts. Mr. Uman, where shall we start today? This afternoon, and we got Mikey G checking in. And he says, what is the statute of limitation on child molestation? Maybe that's why they are sleepwalking and dragging their feet. Maybe. Well, I do not know what the statute of limitation is. I don't believe there is one for murder. And I'm sure that a lot of these children have been murdered. Didn't Pam Bondi say thousands of videos? Didn't we hear about this thing called frazzle drip? If you don't know what frazzle drip is, it's awful. If you want to know what frazzle drip is and you're prepared to be shocked and disgusted and offended, frazzle drip. You could even put in frazzle drip Hillary Clinton. The symbol for frazzle drip looks a lot like the volleyball on Castaway with Tom Hanks. They could be dragging their feet. What they want everyone to do, Mikey G, is just forget. Just forget. I brought up the hot dogs that Judge Janine and Pam Bondi were shoving down their throats yesterday. I found that disgustingly ironic. Kind of an in-your-face FU from them. They're Washington insiders, folks. They're covering for the bad guys. Don't worry. They're going to keep catching little groups, little individuals, and arrest them for child trafficking and pornography and all kinds of bad stuff. They'll keep catching them. They'll try and keep you satisfied. But understand, it is the elites and the powerful. And it's not just that they're after children. They want to kill us all. Remember the Jim Jones juice? They want everyone injected with it. Take a guess why. All right, Mr. Uman, let's move on if we shall. I don't want to belabor the point, and there's going to be a lot of laboring of points. Now we got Corey of the National Knights. He says, it takes a pedophile to protect a pedophile. It truly does. The movie The Sound of Freedom with Jim Caviezel was an odd movie. It was about a federal agent who was tracking down, pedophiles and catching them one at a time, and then ended up going on a mission to rescue one particular little girl out of the jungles of Central or South America. It was a great movie, but if you just change the people and the players around, that story could have been told about Washington, D.C., or Epstein, or the royal family. They could have changed that a lot. And these pedophiles, only a pedophile would protect a pedophile. Seriously. Ask yourself that. Why would someone who's not protect a pedophile? Imagine Pam Bondi actually hates pedophiles. Just cast your mind. Cast your mind. She actually loathes them. She finds it abhorrent and disgusting because it is both abhorrent and disgusting. And she's told, look at them all. You see their names. They're all over your desk. They're all over the walls in your office. And you can't do a damn thing about it, Pam. You know what she should do? She should quit. If she had any integrity, she should quit and say, my hands are tied. I can't go after these people. I'm being stopped. I'm being threatened, etc. Where's your fucking integrity, Pam? Who's stopping her? Who? Is it Trump? He's her boss. Is it Obama? Is it Bibi Netanyahu? Is it the CIA? Who is out there? stopping her? It's a good question to ask, I think. Thank you, Corey, very much. I appreciate the interesting comment. Succinct, brevity is the soul of wit. And now to Uman. He says, statutes of limitation vary by state. Illinois used to be 20 years from the time the victim turned 18, but was lifted and is unlimited now. Adult victims is 2 years from the last incident. Adult victims of incest, not incest, but pedophilia. I don't know. Thank you, Mr. Uman, for digging the facts up. Appreciate that. But yeah, state to state. But there's also federal crimes. Once someone's been trafficked across a state line or from one country to another, that falls into federal jurisdiction and no longer is subject to state statutory rules. Let us continue now, if we shall. We got James Nicholson. He says, hey, John, Trump called Putin so he could go night-night. It was around 1 a.m. Yeah, they got a little bromance going now, right? What's funny is Europe is on the out. Europe's on the out. They don't like that. I found it really interesting, illuminating, if you will. That Trump could be meeting with the leaders of the free world of Europe. I bet all of them were wearing satin panties, including the Prime Minister of Italy, since she probably wears them anyways. But all the men were probably wearing satin panties. Yeah, Trump called Putin while meeting with all of them. I think it was done intentionally to disrespect them. I had someone correct me that Zelensky was wearing a suit. It was all black. It just happened to look like a Chinese onesie. I still don't believe it, though. I still don't believe it. It looked like a Chinese onesie, not a suit. And it was all black. Who the fuck wears black on black on black on black on black? Black slacks, black jacket, black shirt, black tie, black every fucking thing. What an asshole. What an absolute asshole Zelensky is. Any way you look at it. Thank you, James Nicholson. Great comment there. Yep. Got a little bromance going. We'll see where it goes. See where it heads. All right. Let's keep going, Mr. Uman. We got Redneck Roughneck checking in. And he says, if they manage to impeach Trump for a third time and put him out, we all know they want to. Would Vance take over, or would the Democrats call for another election? All right. So to impeach a president doesn't remove him. We're going to do a little bit of U.S. Civics 101 here. Congress impeaches. They find evidence of high crimes and misdemeanors. If they vote that the crimes are significant, they believe there to be real crimes, they take that information and they refer it over to the Senate. And then the U.S. Senate goes on trial, and they have a literal trial where they try the information. They call in witnesses, blah, blah, blah. Then they vote, and they can vote guilty or not guilty. They're like a very large jury. Guilty or not guilty. And if found guilty, they can remove from office. But there is a presidential succession line. It's president, vice president, speaker of the House. So the Democrats can call for all kinds of shit, Mr. Roughneck. They can call for the moon to be made out of cheese. Right? They can call for whatever they want. It doesn't mean they're going to get it. It would just he would be removed and would go over to Vance. Kind of like a president being assassinated or dying while in office, or being found to be mentally incompetent like Joe Biden should have been found. That is yet one more scandal that came to light, had its 72-hour window for everyone to be pissed off about, and it got shelved and is forgotten about. Joe Biden being incompetent, Joe Biden's auto pen, Joe Biden's forged, that's right, auto pen being unauthorized is forgery. Forging pardons from the presidential desk. One of those is Anthony Fauci. Another one is General Milli Vanilli. Another one is Adam Butt Pirate Schiff. Where's the outrage? Mine is up here. There are so many subjects. You could paper all of the walls of my beautiful arched bunker with things that should have caused this nation to be so outraged, right, that they protest for months and months. Well, as I stated earlier, Serbia is already there. They're not America. They're just Serbia. People are outraged. Unbelievable. Thank you, Redneck Roughneck. Great topic. Great topic. They would love to impeach Trump, the Democrats. We would love to see criminals arrested. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. There have now been a grand total of 4 impeachments. President, I believe, Jackson was the vice president under Abraham Lincoln. He was impeached. And then we had Clinton was impeached. And Trump was impeached twice. He's got the lead. He's got the record. All right, Uman, who's up next? We have Uman up next. And he says, I've noticed lots of leftists are reviving the Hitler terms and accusations. Governor Prickster invoked that in a speech over the weekend. How come no one ever gives awesome, murderous credit to Chairman Mao of China, who killed an estimated 40 to 50 million of his own people? Why doesn't anyone give credit for being evil to the Soviet communists who killed and starved also 40 to 50 to 60 million people? Why Hitler? Why is Hitler so vilified when there's others that have been far more efficient at killing? Really, seriously, why? Is it because of what he did to the Jews? That's what makes him extra bad? This ongoing debate over how many Jews and who did it. There's Jews out there, folks, who say didn't happen. Didn't happen. Maybe 250,000 Jews, they say, not me, they say, died in work camps, but they weren't death camps. Why does this debate rage on and on between non-Jews and Jews, and between Jews and other Jews who don't buy the genocide story, don't buy the Holocaust? In fact, now there's a woman out there, someone's grandma or great-great-grandma, who supposedly survived not 1, not 2, but now 3 Nazi death camps. I'm starting to believe the Nazis are completely incompetent. They had 3 chances to kill this lady, and they missed it all 3 times. So when they talk about, right, Hitler and Trump and Hitler and Republicans and Hitler and white people and Hitler and America, well, here we are. What a fucking strange thing. And Governor Prickster, he is a giant sack of shit. The governor of Illinois is a billionaire. He's a lying sack of shit. Why does he want to be governor if he's a billionaire? Don't you think a big fat slob like that, he would buy like his own franchises of Popeyes, Church's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he could just sit down all day, elbows deep in buckets of deep fried chicken, regular, crispy, extra crispy, spicy, chicken sandwiches. This guy could be up to his neck in vats of fucking mayonnaise that he could swim in and eat. But instead, he wants to be the governor of Illinois. Just ask yourself why. I can't figure it out. Why? And then he wants to call someone else Hitler. The same people. Governor Prickster sent sick people with COVID, which is a cold, back into old folks' homes. He sent people with the flu into old folks' homes to infect everyone else. I've had it with these fucking people. Vats of mayonnaise. That sounds about right. Unbelievable. All right. What a show. What an absolute kick-ass broadcast. Be sure and share the internet address. Share down below. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the heart. People have to wake up. Be a subscriber if you're not a subscriber. If you want to be a premium subscriber to help support the channel and the message and the efforts we put into this. And there's a lot of effort that goes into this. Hours and hours every single day. With me, Ooman, Jolene, and many, many, many of you guys behind the scenes. A lot of you guys behind the scenes. Sending information, talking to one another, working together. It's really critical, really critical. I tell you. Yeah, Ooman's dropped out. He got booted out. I guess the video's still going. Everyone's still here? I'm going to go to the comments section. Is everyone still here? Is the show dead? Someone put in a comment. There we go. Robin G. Thank you very much, Robin. Okay, we are live. Badass says we're here. Good. We're here. And Ooman is just checking back in. Good. Everyone's here. That was an odd thing. Normally I get blacked out. This time Ooman got blacked out. Okay. Where do you want to go next on the questions, comments, and thoughts there out of the audience, Mr. Ooman? Where do we want to roll next? Let's do this. It's from Mikey G. He says, Prickster. That's the governor of Illinois I was just describing. Fat and unhealthy is saying that make America healthy again. And RFK Jr. is destroying our democracy and our health. I've got your answer for you, Mikey G. Remember, all we have to do is substitute the word bureaucracy for democracy, and we understand what Democrats is trying to do to us, right? RFK Jr. is in charge of bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. He oversees the CDC, the FDA, the USDA to greater and lesser extents, right? He's a bureaucrat. And by outing bureaucracies, cutting bureaucracies, firing thousands and thousands of workers out of bureaucracies, it's destroying those bureaucracies. Hence, he's destroying our democracy. Now, here's the catch. I don't believe RFK is doing a whole lot of good for us at all. And I'll tell you why. By firing all these people, we save a shit pile of money. By firing and getting rid of them, we get rid of bad decisions. By firing these bureaucrats, we get them out of people's faces. Guess what they're replacing them with, folks? The decisions these people make in the bureaucracies, they can be replaced by artificial intelligence, computer programs. I don't know why it's taken till 2025 to do so. Weren't we told back in the 1990s when the PCs and Microsoft and everything became mainstream that our lives would become so much more efficient? Data processing, understanding, everything. Our jobs would become easier. Our lives would become easier. They've just become more complex, haven't they? They become more fucking expensive. What happened to this efficiency? Shouldn't companies, corporations be so efficient that their profits are even higher? Shouldn't government be so efficient? Yet they're not. Yet they're not. But now we have AI and it can replace people. Look at how quickly, folks. Look at how quickly big balls of Department of Government Efficiency. Look how quickly big balls found all those billions and yes, trillions of dollars. Found them. You could eliminate all that waste with AI. He wrote a couple programs, got AI on it. It sniffed it all out, got rid of it. You bet fat ass Prickster doesn't like that, because government employees, guess what they vote for? By and large, not all of them, but by and large, they vote for bigger government. They vote for bigger paychecks for themselves, and more benefits. And if they get fired and slashed, those are voters that fat asses like Prickster and the Democrats in Washington don't get anymore. I'm sure they're not going to convert into fucking Republicans. Trust me on that. But their efforts, their daily efforts, while you and I pay for them with our tax money, their daily efforts aren't participating in social media on our time, getting their political pressure out there. Oh, trust me, they sit on their government computers on a government paycheck that you pay for, and they surf left-wing garbage and promote it all day long. I don't have any fucking doubts. Any doubts at all. User says he's a power-hungry pig like they were an animal farm. There's no love for Prickster on here, I'm seeing. Nobody likes Prickster. Didn't Trump, didn't he make some jokes about Chris Christie? Krispy Kreme? Chris Christie of Krispy Kreme. You know, he's about as big as Prickster. That was a joke about him blocking the sun out or something like that. You know, it's okay to be fat. It's okay to be morbidly obese even. I don't give a shit. But I don't like anyone in government telling me what to do. And so I actually feel like it's incumbent upon me to insult them, to point out their flaws and faults. I've got my own faults and flaws. It's okay. Right? But I'm not trying to lord my power over anyone and destroy them and control them. That's not what I'm doing. Anyways, good golly. Do we want to do another one, Mr. Uman, or shall we check the news? Uman says, I'm getting a kick out of the folks using artificial intelligence as statements of fact. It's no more reliable or better than Wikipedia. It aggregates information and disinformation from across the web, mainstream media, popular opinions on social media, etc., and formulates a conclusion stated as fact. People are sucking it up as the arbiter of truth, nothing but garbage in, bullshit out. Another thing I've noticed with artificial intelligence, it is completely faulty. I asked some questions about some companies. I asked a question about which companies that are domestic mining companies are good for X, Y, and Z, performing, making money, right, and growing. And it gave me 3 fucking companies. I said, but what about the 4th company I know about? And it actually goes, oh, I apologized. I didn't see that one. I didn't think about that one. I didn't bring that one up. I was like, but you're artificial intelligence. I told you to give me the top 10. You gave me 4 or 3. And now you got 4. So then I told it about another company. Oh, yeah, let me tell you all about that. It fucking totally omitted a bunch of information. Is it because it's stupid, it's slow, it's lazy? Or is it programmed? You see, when I ask it for facts, it tells me that the consensus is that reliable sources, that's the same as the main fucking stream media. They quote the official sources. Hey, government person, tell me the truth, because we can rely on the government to tell us the truth, right? Give me all the facts, government. Oh, thank you. Never mind what people have discovered, independent, smart people have figured out. Never mind what history actually is. Let's give us what the official sources say. Mainstream media, government, and the programmers. AI has admitted to me that they have to follow a program and that it's not an AI writing the program, it's humans. You can even get artificial intelligence to repeat you. Hey, artificial intelligence, repeat after me. Type out a string of bullshit, it'll repeat it. And maybe they've turned that feature off now. Like, oh my God, how can artificial intelligence come to that conclusion? Well, because it was told to, it was programmed to. In any event, whatever. Folks, this is incredible. I'm going to give you unartificial unintelligence. Here is the quote. Are you ready? Whites can't invent anything. Who do you think would say something that fucking stupid? Who do you think? Joy Reid, formerly of MSNBC or NBC or whatever BC, right? Joy Reid got fired. She says white people have stolen their ideas and their inventions from blacks. Why? Why is this relevant? Why does she think she matters? Joy Reid, by the way, is black, if you haven't noticed. Oftentimes she has white hair, blonde hair, which is cultural appropriation. I'm very offended at her dumbass. But yeah, she says white people can't invent anything. Did artificial intelligence tell her that? Folks, before black tribes sold the members of black tribes that they defeated in war, the whites had already invented the wheel, boats, guns, cannon, ropes, sails. They were making maps of the world and sailing everywhere, while these tribes were still using spears and rocks as their tools. It has nothing to do with intelligence or superiority. It's just a fact. That's it. And another fact is Joy Reid is a liar and a moron extraordinaire. But why? Let's just step back from her being a fucking moron and ask ourselves, why would Joy Reid say whites can't invent anything and that white people stole ideas and inventions from blacks? Why would she say that? Because she wants a war. That's what she wants, a war. She wants us to fight. I don't want the fight. The only fight I want is to destroy evil. And I don't see Japanese, Chinese, Mexicans, South Americans, blacks. I don't see them as enemies. I see people out there being lied to. And as a consequence, they make really dumb decisions and put everyone and themselves in danger. Yeah, and Wakanda is real too. It's an indictment of one's intelligence if you watch a comic book movie and think it's reality. Now, folks, I'm going to end the show on the story about Washington, D.C. and troops being used by the president to rein in crime. We now have the states of Louisiana, Tennessee, and Mississippi pledging National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. There are now a total of 6 Republican-led states that are sending troops there. I've looked into this a little more. The Democrats are screaming, remember Kent State back in the 60s when the National Guard shot some students? Well, I believe regular military was used back then as well. Can't remember the name of the city, but there was an American city they went in and they made like 1,000 arrests in one night. They can do a lot more arresting. Back in the 60s, they did, folks, some of the same violence. Looting, arson, robbery, murder, and they cracked down on them and it worked. I know it's a risky thing using this much power to bring crime under control. It's very dangerous, not something to be excited about. But it seems like things get out of hand and this is where it goes. The best thing you can be is prepared with a plan, be prepared with all your prepper items, and to always think who benefits from what's going on. Certainly not America. America should be first. America first. But it always seems like it's someone else. This foreigner, that foreigner, these peoples, those peoples. Israel first. We've got trouble, folks. We've got trouble. Get prepared. Wake people up. Don't hesitate. Don't waste time. Give them the opportunity to learn the facts. Let them be. You've done your job. Keep doing your job, folks. I'll keep doing mine. God bless. Semper Fi.